Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over conditionals. It's going to be if something happens, we want to conditionally do some logic. So if a file exists or if an S3 bucket has a trigger or some other criteria, then we want to perform an action. So this is the crux of the programming language of Ruby and other languages. So let's dive into it and see how to do this. So I have a folder here called conditionals. Let's create a new file, do example.rb. And in here, we're gonna do the most basic conditional where it's if true equals true, then we're gonna output to the screen, got here. So if we run this, which you can do, I have an extension set up with Code Runner, which I can run the code. I'll use the keyboard shortcut here as I'm on a Mac, but you can also right click and run the code as well. So we see we got here. So if true is true, then it executes this conditional block. If we wanted to do something different, we would say if true equals false, then did not get here. And so if we run this code, we'll see we only did the second one. So this statement did not print, but we did get here because the conditional was satisfied. Another one to do is an Elsif statement. So let's do a divider here. And we'll do if true equals false, then we don't expect this to happen. Else, if another conditional happens, so we could do true equals true, then we did get here Elsif. And if we run this code, we see our divider at the bottom. We got the first line and then our divider, and then we did get here in the Elsif. So you can see we skipped over this first one, but we got to the second one. If you wanted a catch here, then you would do got else. And if both of these were not true, then we would see this else statement execute. All right, awesome. So now we can do another way of checking for conditionals, and that's called the case statement. So the way we do that is we have case, which has some input. So let's set a temporary variable called input, and we'll call it, let's say, match. So when it's a match, so this string matches this string, then we want to say we got a match. And we need to have another case, so maybe whenever the string matches different match, then we got a different match. You always need to have an else for the base case. So we could say got base case, and then we'll end the statement. Now, if we run this, we should expect to see we got a match. And we do. So we got these different statements here, and we got here, we executed our else, and then now we got to the match. So if this was different match, then we should see this execute. And we do. All right, so let's do this divider again, and I'll show you how to do a different type of matching with regexes. So we'll do regex match, and we'll do our same match, but instead of doing string matching, we'll do these where we want to match if the string starts with MAT. And if that's the case, then we'll say we got a regex match. We should expect this to hit that statement if we run it. And we do. You can see that here. If for whatever reason this started with not, then it would not match our regex, and we would not see that execute. So we got the base case here at the bottom, so it didn't match our regex, which is what we expect. Let's put that back. Yet another way, in case you don't want to do a case statement or if-else statements, you could do something a little fancy like having a hash map or a map. So let's say you have a bunch of states, like the US states, and the way to define that is with curlies. Let's say we have Texas as our key, and it's spelled out Texas, and then we'll have another one for New Mexico. So if we wanted to use this instead of a case statement or else if, we could access it like this, where we would pass in the key and it would output whatever state it comes back with. So we should see Texas in our output here. And we do. Awesome. Well, that's everything I wanted to cover for today on conditionals. If you learned something in this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.